Good evening. Welcome to the meeting of the Marlington Local School District Board of Education, Thursday, May 19th, 2022. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Is Walter Bungard here? There you go. Invocation, please.
There he is.
Let's bow our heads. Lord, as we near the end of this school year, I just want to thank you for the year we've had so far. I thank you for the staff and administration we have here at Marlington. And today, Lord, I just ask that you give each and every board member the wisdom to make the best decisions possible for the students in the school. Help us as a school district to get through any obstacles or challenges we face. And as we get ready for the summer, Lord, I just ask that you keep each and every student safe and help us to finish this year strong. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen.
Roll call.
Mr. Hagan?
Here.
Mrs. Humphries?
Here.
Mrs. Krupko?
Here.
Mr. Ryan?
Here.
Mr. Swift?
Here.
Reading of the mission statement, Mr. Ryan.
In collaboration with staff, community, and parents, and students, the Marlington Local School District will develop lifelong learners who understand and apply knowledge and demonstrate excellence in pursuing the highest standards with effective intervention to challenge every student.
Thank you. Adoption of the agenda. I'd like to recommend that we adopt the agenda. Is there a second?
Second.
Whoever you want to give it to, Patty.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Pass 5-0.
Public participation. Has anyone signed up to speak?
No one has requested to speak tonight.
Okay, thank you. Special presentation, Students of the Month.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome. It's great to see everybody here, especially on this beautiful spring day. And we will start our recognition of our Students of the Month with our high school principal, Mike Farrell.
Good evening. High school principal Mike Farrell, if you don't know me. And I have, I've got our April Elks Teen of the Month as well as our May Elks Teen of the Month here to recognize. So I'm going to do all four of those right now. I don't see our first one. Is Taylor Maurer here? I did not see her when she walked in. I'm going to go ahead and recognize her anyway. She deserves it. So a few things about Taylor. Taylor is the daughter of Aaron and Wendy Maurer. She is the president of the Marlington chapter of the FFA, a member of the National Honor Society, and the Horticulture Career Tech program. Taylor enjoys hiking, spending time with her family, and playing with her puppies. She plans to attend Altman Health Science and nursing school in the fall to pursue a career in nursing. Message from her teachers. Taylor has been a leader in the horticulture program. For the last 2 years, she's worked independently over the summer growing the mum crops for the fall fundraiser. She is a very responsible and self-motivated person. She's also been the go-to person for her classmates when they need help. Whether that be classwork or making bows, flower arrangements, or some of their other products, she's always eager to help others. She has been incredibly important to Mr. Tanner and the horticulture program. Her teachers are extremely proud of all the growth she has shown since her sophomore year, and they're all going to miss her immensely when she graduates, but they're very excited for her future, so congratulations to Taylor Maurer. Our other April Teen of the Month, Elks Teen of the Month, is Logan Waite. I did not see Logan here. Logan is the son of Richard and Joanna Waite. He is a member of National Honor Society and a 2021 Buckeye Boys State Delegate. Logan is very active with the Marlington Drama Dukes and the Carnation City Players, where he has been cast as John in Peter Pan, Prince Hans in Frozen, Kasim in Aladdin, and most recently as Sebastian in The Little Mermaid. Logan is a member of Select Vocal Ensemble, Duke Street, the Marlington Chorale, and is a 2-year captain on the varsity tennis team. Logan enjoys playing tennis, singing, reading, and riding bikes. Following graduation, he plans to continue his education in the field of biology and possibly pursue a career as a park ranger. Logan's teachers say he has been the epitome of a model student in his time here at Marlington. He has continuously shown his classmates and teachers respect and gone above and beyond to excel both in his academic life and extracurricular activities. Logan's been an integral member of Duke Street and Chorale, as well as participating in the musicals at Marlington High School. This did not prevent Logan from achieving magna cum laude honors as he did for the class of 2022. Logan will be remembered both for his academic and choral achievements at Marlington High School. Congratulations, Logan. So how about a round of applause for Taylor and Logan, even though they weren't with us today. Okay, our first May Elks Teen of the Month I did see here with us. If Micah Cackley could come forward. Micah. Micah is the daughter of Jason and Trina Cackley. She is the vice president of the class of 2022, and Micah is a member of Character Counts Club, Rotary Interact Club, and Spanish National Honor Society. She is a member of the varsity girls soccer and basketball teams. In addition to her athletics, Micah enjoys fashion and singing with the Marlington Chorale and Duchess Voices Select Vocal Ensemble. After graduation, she plans to attend Kent State University to pursue a bachelor's degree in fashion design. Micah has been a guidance office aide for a couple of years now, and she actually has the nickname of their little drill sergeant because she keeps their office moving efficiently when she's in there. She always has a smile on her face and asks how everyone is doing before they can even ask her about herself. She's one of the sweetest and funniest students they know, and they will miss her so much when she graduates. Congratulations, Micah. Our other Elks Teen of the Month for May is Alec Goodwin. Alec, come forward, please. Alec is the son of David and Melissa Goodwin. He is a member of National Honor Society, a 2019 Ulster Teen host, and a senior advisor for Character Counts Club. Alec is a member of the varsity tennis and golf teams. Alec enjoys playing golf and tennis as well as gaming. Following graduation, he plans to continue his education at the Williams Honors College of the University of Akron to pursue a master's degree in computer technologies and management. Alec is a great student and a successful member of the golf and tennis teams, as you've heard. But just as importantly, Alec is an important positive influence on the positive culture of Marlington High School. He is a hard worker in his classes, but is never too busy to help his classmates and his teammates. His positive disposition and creativity help enhance the environment of all of the classes he's in. With the continued application of his dedication and intelligence, we expect him to do great things at the post-secondary level and beyond. Congratulations, Alec. All right, next up on our Student of the Month presentations is Middle School Principal, Mr. Nick Evanich.
Good evening. I also have 4 students to recognize today because of April and May both being honored tonight. We'll do ladies first. 8th grader, Kyliana Brown. I didn't think I saw Kyliana come in, but we're going to read about her here. Kyliana is a daughter of Todd Mannion and Tanya Abby Mannion. Her favorite class is reading. She plays basketball and runs track for the Dukes. She's also a member of our Power of the Pen competition writing team. In her free time, she loves reading all sorts of books and has read over 20 books this school year just for enjoyment alone. Her teachers had the following to say about her. Kyliana is a respectful and responsible young lady. If she witnesses another student struggling with their work, she kindly offers help. She encourages others and shares her positivity. Another teacher wrote that Kyliana is a hard worker that comes to class with an eagerness to learn and an awesome attitude. She's always willing to face a challenge, even though it means she might not succeed the first time. She will then work very hard on the content until she overcomes that challenge. Kaliana, also known as KB, has been a very diligent student throughout the school year. She stays on top of her work and is willing to help others along the way. KB is an active participant during lessons, always willing to answer a question, and most importantly, they love the smile she has coming in off the bus in the mornings. So that was Kaliana. Our next young lady is Cadence Odie. I don't think I see Cadence either tonight. Okay. Cadence is the daughter of Sean and Liz Odie. Her favorite class is Algebra 1 with Miss Kinney. She plays volleyball and basketball for the Dukes and plays travel softball for Fire Fast Pitch. In her free time, she enjoys hanging out with her friends. Her teacher said that she has a pleasant demeanor, is friendly to the students and staff alike, and is a very hard worker. Another teacher wrote that she is a bright student that pays attention to detail, cares about learning, not just her grades, and they admire her participation and willingness to work well with anyone she's grouped with. Lastly, Cadence has grown consistently all year. She's an extremely hard worker and a positive influence on those around her. She leads people to make the classroom around her a better place. All right, next up, one of our young men is 8th grader Caden Dine. There's Caden. Caden, sorry, I'm calling him all kinds of names. I called him his brother's name earlier. All right, Caden is the son of Don Butler and David Dine. His favorite class is American History with Mr. Mid. Caden's a busy young man. He plays football and basketball for the Dukes and also runs track. In his free time, he enjoys hanging out with friends, but also he enjoys time with his dogs. Buster is a German shepherd, Piper is a pit bull, and Daisy is an American bulldog. You didn't say you enjoy feeding them. Looks like he's got some work there. Caden's teachers had the following to share about him. Caden is a polite and respectful student. He's diligent in his work. He's self-disciplined, and he's a young man who strives to do his best. Another student said that Caden is very responsible in his schoolwork. Never had to remind him to get an assignment done. Participates often in class, works well with others, and is polite. Another teacher mentioned that Caden is very responsible as well, but also a bright young man who's not afraid to ask questions, and he asks great questions. He readily participates in class and takes an interest in what he's learning and strives to succeed. Great job, Caden. Keep up the good work. All right, next up is 8th grader Isaac McIntyre. There's Isaac. Isaac is the son of Valerie and Adam McIntyre. His favorite class is also American History with Mr. Mid and reading class. He's a second-year 4-H club member with a focus on rocketry and engine projects. He works on these and then displays them and participates in the Stark County Fair. In his free time, he enjoys bowling and rollerblading. Isaac's teachers had the following to share. Isaac is a hardworking student who leads by a quiet example. He is courteous and kind to everyone. He completes his work with thoughtfulness and care. The next teacher wrote that Isaac is a very intelligent young man who is regularly on task and is a quiet force in the classroom. Next, the teacher said that Isaac is focused, puts a lot of effort and detail in his work, and he's dedicated to doing his best. Lastly, Isaac is dedicated to doing a good job on his schoolwork. He consistently does the right thing, even when he thinks no one is watching. He's quiet and humble, but he's a leader by example. Great job, Isaac. Doing the alphabet in my head real quick because I didn't read the agenda. Next up is Miss Weber from Lexington. There we go.
tough following Mr. Evanich. He's a little bit taller than me. Good evening. My name is Ashley Weber. I'm the principal at Lexington Elementary, and I have the honor of recognizing two outstanding ladies from Lexington Elementary this evening. The first, our April Kiwanis Student of the Month, is Miss Caitlin Pauley. Caitlin was recognized by her teachers as being a fabulous role model for her peers. She goes above and beyond in every aspect, and from entering the readathon and crushing her goal to winning the essay contest that was optional, Caitlin is recognized by her teachers and peers at Lexington in the 5th grade. What's her favorite subject? Her favorite subject in school is math. Miss Caitlin would like you to know that she lives with her mom and stepdad, but she also sees her dad and stepmom, and she has many, many pets. At her mom's house, she has 3 cats and a gecko lizard, and at dad's, she has 2 cats, and she just got a puppy. What's your puppy's name? Cooper. Miss Weber loves puppies, too. In the future, Caitlin would like to work as a NICU nurse with little babies. She also wants to visit Universal Studios in Florida. On her free time, Caitlin enjoys soccer, and she also enjoys volleyball. She's interested in gymnastics as well. Congratulations, Caitlin. Our second Student of the Month for May is Miss Isabella Ritchie. Isabella, also known as Bella by her teacher, was selected for May Kiwanis Student of the Month because she has shown great maturity, mounds of effort, kindness, and friendship to her classmates over the course of the year. She has been a perfect choice for peer mentoring in the younger classrooms as she is confident in her own abilities and does a great job encouraging others. It has been a pleasure to watch her grow this year. That's what her teachers have to say. What's something positive we can say about Bella? She works hard at school and in her extracurricular activities in basketball and soccer. Her favorite subject is math. And if she wanted to tell us something about her family, she would say that she has a very large family. She has 2 brothers, 2 sisters, and 2 dogs. And we aren't going to ask her which one's her favorite. Okay. Something that Bella would like to do in the future, and I think this is very admirable, Bella would like to be a police officer. I think that's awesome. One more thing she'd like to share about herself is that her favorite sports are soccer and basketball. Congratulations, Bella. Next up, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Mort, Marlboro Elementary Principal.
Good evening, everyone. I have 2 fabulous young ladies to introduce for Marlboro Elementary Kiwanis Student of the Month. First, for April, Miss Jillian Bogunovich. A little bit about Jillian from her teachers. Jillian was chosen as the April Kiwanis Student of the Month based on her ability to keep on task and always do her best. Jillian can be found completing her work on time, asking for help when needed, and supporting her peers in education. She is a hard worker and dedicated to making each school year a success. Her positive attitude and sense of humor brighten the mood in any classroom. Congratulations, Jillian. You've been doing a great job this year in 5th grade, and your teachers are very proud of you. Jillian's favorite subject in school is reading. Jillian loves playing board games with her family, going camping, riding 4-wheelers, and spending time with her yellow lab, Lucy. Someday, Jillian would like to be a nurse and join the Army. She would also like to visit Paris. Jillian likes volleyball and basketball and loves playing softball. She also really enjoys making origami butterflies. Jillian is a young person that loves to learn. She is also gifted at speaking her mind. Additionally, Jillian is also a member of our student council. Thank you, Jillian, for all that you do to serve Marlboro Elementary. We are very proud of you. Jillian Bogunovich, congratulations on your recognition, April Kiwanis Student of the Month. Our Marlboro Kiwanis Student of the Month for May is Piper Wallace. Piper is not able to be here with us tonight. She is playing softball. Her team needed her, so we support that. From her teachers, Piper was chosen because she is a wonderful student who enjoys helping others, is dedicated to learning in all her subjects, and has a very upbeat attitude that guides others to join along in the positivity. She is also a caring, hardworking, very well-rounded student that participates in band and the Marlington High School plays. Finally, Piper does an absolutely incredible job of modeling our Duke Pride expectations to all of our younger students. She leads by example and is always happy and bubbly. Well done, Piper. A little more. Reading is Piper's favorite subject in school. She lives with her sister, brother, mom, and dad. She has 2 dogs, Casper and Tucker, and Piper enjoys going to the beach with her family. In the future, Piper wants to go to Paris, maybe with Jillian, and to be a police officer. Piper enjoys art activities, including drawing and coloring. She plays softball, which, again, is where she is tonight, and cheers for the Marlington Little Dukes. Additionally, Piper is an honor roll student and a bus helper. Thank you, Piper, for all you do to make Marlboro Elementary shine. And again, Piper Wallace, congratulations on your recognition as the May Kiwanis Student of the Month. Next up, Mr. Spondile from Washington Elementary.
Good evening, everyone. Our April Student of the Month is Mila Christian. I told her to smile, but that's not hard for her to do. So, Mila Christian, April Student of the Month. Her teacher said about Mila, Mila is a kind student who enjoys life. She is a great friend and supportive to those that need a helping hand. She is compassionate and works well with all of her peers. Mila is a natural leader who strives to achieve more every day, both in and out of the classroom. She is a pleasure to have in class, and we will miss her tremendously next year when she moves on to the middle school. Her favorite subject in school is math. Something about her family: she has 4 siblings. She has 3 sisters and a little brother and a little dog at home. A couple cool things about Mila. In the future, she would like to live in Maui, Hawaii, and she would like to bungee jump. And then 2 special facts about her: she loves sushi, and she was born in Australia. Very cool. Congratulations, Mila. And our May Student of the Month is Chloe Evanich. Chloe Evanich is a 5th grader at Washington Elementary School in Mrs. Craig's homeroom. She is an incredibly hard worker, has continued to grow and excel this year. Chloe has a great sense of humor and brings joy to our classroom every day. It has been an honor to watch Chloe learn, grow, and conquer challenges this year. She's a role model for all students at Washington and will certainly continue to excel in the middle school. Her favorite subject in school is math. At home is her mom, her dad, her 2 brothers, and a sister. She has a horse named Diesel, and she loves to go camping with the family. In the future, Her dream is to own a breeding/lessons barn, which is a pretty cool hobby to have, because she takes horse riding lessons at the jumper ring, and she also plays basketball and volleyball. And on behalf of our administrative staff, we like to say we are very happy Chloe takes after mom. So, thank you. Congratulations, Chloe Evanich.
Thank you. How about one more round of applause for all of our great students? At this time, we're going to recognize our retirees that we have at the present time and our folks that have reached their 20-year mark, 20 years of service at Marlington Local. And then after that, all of you are welcome, more than welcome, to stay for our board meeting, but we'll have a little break after that, and if you would like to leave, then you could do so. But let's stay and recognize our retirees. Okay. Susan Buhite, I did not see her come in. Okay, Mrs. Buhite, middle school gifted teacher. She is retiring this year. And Miss Joyce Sen, I didn't see Joyce come in either. Joyce retired last year, but after the time when we recognized retirees. So we have Melissa Bogunovich, Officer Deputy Bogunovich. Deputy Bogunovich has graciously served Marlington as our school resource officer for many years, and she is retiring this next month from Marlington and the sheriff's office, and we wish her the best, although we know that she is part of our community, and we are hoping to see her back with us in some capacity. So would you like to say anything at all? Oh. Congratulations, you play a very integral role here. Thank you. Oh, almost forgot. A little Texas Roadhouse gift card for you. Thank you. And next we have Robert Runyon. Robert is here. Come on up. So Robert retired a couple of months ago, and I was asking him, how do you like retirement? There's not much not to like, so he's enjoying his retirement, and Robert has served with the Marlington Local Schools also for many years, and in our custodial department. So Robert, would you like to say a couple words?
Prepared a speech. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and board members. My name is Robert Runyon, and first of all, I would like to thank everyone in the Marlington School District for allowing me to be a part of such an amazing job I have had the honor of being a part of. The students, teachers, staff have been like a part of my extended family. All these years will never leave my wonderful memory. I pray beginning to be a part of such an incredible journey, how I truly loved my job. So many teachers that were so nice and showed me how much they cared for their students. To give them a bright future ahead of them, I will never forget any of you. Thank you for everything. May God bless each and every one of you. Sincerely, your friend and custodian, Robert S. Runyon.
Thank you, Robert. And on behalf of the Board of Education, to our retirees, thank you so much for your service. We would also now at this time like to recognize those Marlington employees who have been with us for 20 years. So they've reached their 20-year mark. And we have a little gift for them as well. I didn't see Ryan Chernansky. Did he slip in? I don't see him with us. Ryan Chernansky middle school teacher, and Marcy Beednell. I did not see her slip in. Okay. Those have been 20 years with us. And then we have 3 others that are here. Kim Mitchell. Kim, if you would like to come up. Does it feel like yesterday that you started with us? Congratulations, Kim. How about 20 more? Yeah, maybe not. We are so happy to have you with us, Kim. Thank you so much, and especially for all that you do for our kids. Thank you. Kim Mitchell. Alice Sato. Congratulations, Alice. And Alice is what we call a life, what I call a lifer. Alice went to school here, and Alice serves every day here in the middle school with the kids and with Mr. Evanich. And we are so glad to have you. Thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you. And then Robin Crusoe, you moved. Thank you, Robin. Robin knows that we love her, even though we tease her quite often. But Robin keeps the train on track at Washington, and Robin's also active in our district. And again, the folks love her. The people at Washington can't say enough good about her. So 20 years of service, that's nothing to sneeze at. So thank you, Robin, for your 20 years with us. Thank you. How about one more round of applause for our service people? Okay, at this time, if you would like to depart.
Hold on,
I'm sorry.
just a second. We just want to mention, I mean, I think this is probably well known because it was on the Facebook page and website, but that our teacher, Janelle Hart, was named the Stark County Teacher of the Year, which is quite a great honor. And then our Grace Flores was the Rookie of the Year. So we just want to recognize those accomplishments as well.
Thank you, Mrs. Humphreys. And Mrs. Humphreys, Mrs. Krupko, and I were able to accompany Janelle and Grace and have dinner with them and with other recognized by the county. And if you have not seen the write-up about Janelle Hart, it was on the front page of the newspaper just a couple of days ago. You can see it online. What a great example for Marlington schools. So you might want to take a look. Thank you. I don't think everybody wants to hear.
It's late night. A hot day. Could we change that?
It's a long story. I know.
Hey, when we yeah, when we
DJ Ben in the house. Oh, come on.
dive.
Ben.
Come on, get it together, Ben.
I'm working on it.
Is he on?
He's on. I could hear the clicks.
Are you there, Brian?
You were pretty close. 7:30.
We can hear you, we just can't see you.
Yeah, we can't see you yet.
There he is.
I can see him. Where are all those other people with cool glasses?
They're twins, apparently.
Looks like he just came off the golf course.
Hey, let's bend, and this is you.
You.
Yeah, who's you?
Okay. Are we good?
Is that why the phone is? Oh.
Okay, we're going to reconvene here. Special presentations. 5-year forecast is by Ryan Gazzoni, but you can open this up if you'd like to, Patty.
My pleasure to reintroduce Ryan Gazzoni. He's a former treasurer. He's a past president of OASBO, and he's currently a financial consultant with Forecast 5. He works with several schools through Northeast Ohio, and he has worked many, many hours with me throughout the year to make sure that we are aligned with the forecast and that we stay up to date on all of the changes throughout the year. Tonight, he is going to just give an overview of the forecast as it's updated here in May, and he can answer any questions that any of the board members have. He has a lot of tools at his fingertips, a lot of graphs and charts. So, Ryan?
All right, thank you. Let me go ahead and share a screen here. There we go. So this is your updated May forecast. Since November, your trend's been pretty consistent. Not a lot of overall change in the forecast. There has been some things on the revenue side that have changed due to timing. And so we'll go over some of that. But basically, the district's going to be just short of having a balanced budget for the year. You'll be overspending, we estimate, by about $55,000. And then start more significant deficit spending in 23 and 24. Assuming that your renewal levy passes and the district begins bringing ESSER expenses back to the general fund in 24 and 25, you start to get in a situation where you have a negative cash balance in 2025. If we review some of the changes since the May forecast, since the November forecast, there's a couple things we want to point out. Your real estate revenue is up about $270,000 from what we projected. A portion of that increase, though, we believe is from your residential and commercial property taxpayers paying early, some of them. So it's called a collection split. So we think you got more in the spring, you get a little bit less in the fall based on some of the data we're looking at. So that's why you're up 270 and you see a decrease of 127 and 23. But because of revaluation, you do have ongoing increases in revenue of about $60,000. On the public utility side, the pipeline side, we got information from the county auditor that they did pay a larger portion of their bill in the spring. And so we would expect less in the fall, which is why you see that this increase here is offset in the fall. Moving forward, there were some changes in value that we think is going to generate some additional revenue. There still has been no determination in the tax case for the pipeline to know what exactly is going to happen with the back taxes, if anything, or moving forward. So we're still waiting on that. Overall, your state revenue is still pretty consistent to where we thought it would be at the beginning of the year. And you've had minimal changes in other revenue. So all in all, your revenue is up from where it was about $608,000. Next year, we think it's be down $520,000 mainly because of that collection split. And then it's pretty consistent moving past that. You're extremely close to where we thought you were going to be in November. On the expenditure side, the district's personnel services are down. Some of that's because you did move some additional staff to ESSER. In addition, you had some future years, we think you have some further reductions in salaries, mainly other salaries that we've included in here. And that's also affected your retirement. Your purchase services are almost the exact same as you thought in November. And then we are seeing an increase in supplies moving forward, and this is mainly due to inflation. We're anticipating about a 12% increase in your transportation supply, including bus fuel, and we'll see how that plays out moving forward. You did not spend as much on capital outlay. We have pretty consistent spending moving forward. Because of the increase in collections, you are transferring more money out to the 070 fund. So you did have an increase of $459,000 that offset the decrease here. So as a result, overall, your expenses are within $183,000, which is extremely close with your November forecast. And then moving forward, they're slightly less, but still relatively close given the size of your budget. So all in all, looking at your forecast again, assuming your renewal levies pass, you're still very close to the trajectory we were thinking in November, that once the ESSER funds run out, the district's in a situation where we're going to be out of cash in 2025. In 2024, you are deficit spending by more than 10% of your budget. That's pretty significant. You're actually close to it in 23. So it's basically depleting your cash balance moving forward. Any questions on that or any other items you'd like me to cover?
Ryan, this is Mr. Swift. My question is how much of that ESSER funds are we absorbing in the following year? At what year? I guess it looks like 2024, we're going to be running back into those ESSER fund positions. How much of that is that running forward? Maybe Patty has the answer as well.
I can show you some of that. On the certify the teaching side, you are, get back one for you here. You're bringing back about 75,000 in 24, and then you have over an additional 100,000 to bring back in 25. That doesn't include benefits. Let me see if you have anything going on in classified. In classified, you do have another 70,000 coming back in 25 as well. And then I believe on the substitute side, you also have, you have about $100,000 in 25 coming back in sub costs. So it's split among 3 different sections, but it's over probably about 350,000 by the time you get to 25 of just salaries coming back, not including benefits.
Thank you.
The district also has, and I can probably show you a little bit better here, you're also paying for your technology out of ESSER. And so let me show you another chart here that will highlight that. Let me take out some of the bigger stuff so you can see a little bit better. So you can see that your supply costs are down and it comes back in 24. I think that's I believe your iPads or your little technology is coming back out of ESSER there as well. So it's about a little bit under 100,000. Any other questions?
Hi, Mr. Gazzoni. Can you hear me? This is Josh Hagan. Can you hear me all right? Am I too far away from you?
I can hear you.
Okay. Is Marlington still on track to hit the 20 mil floor by fiscal year 2024?
Let's take a look. I believe you are even closer now, but let's take a look and see when you hit that. So yeah, I mean, you're extremely close to 20 mil floor. You're just above it, about 20.6 next year, 6.6. So yeah, by tax year 24, you're going to hit the 20 mil floor for your class 1. For your class 2, you're not close. That's your commercial industrial. But for class 1, you're still on track to hit it during the next big, I think it's a trial update in 24.
And as far as for the district, what does that mean as far as additional unvoted millage when we hit?
So what happens is it all depends on what happens with your property values. So right now we're anticipating that your class 1 property values are going to increase, mainly residential, by about $21 million. So this last time you had an 18.41% increase. And so what happens is when you hit the 20 mil floor, your millage until you hit the 20 mil floor, your millage goes down as values go up. Once you get to the 20 mil floor, once you go drop below 20 mils, it's brought back up. So it's additional tax revenue for the district, because House Bill 920, which was passed in the 70s, says you're not allowed to go below 20 mils. The financial impact of the district is going to be what goes on with the housing market, mainly, between now and 24. If it was to maintain the level it did the last 3 years, it would mean more money for the district. Right now, we have you coming in expecting it to slow down a little bit by 2024. And that additional financial benefit is built into the forecast. If this was to increase, let's say, by 18%, it would have more financial benefit to the district because it's more of you're dropping farther below the 20 mil floor, so you're getting additional revenue to bring you back up.
And is that calculated in the forecast, that additional revenue?
Yes. Yeah, the effect, based on a 7.14% increase, the impact of going to the 20 mil floor is included. And I can show you what that looks like.
Okay.
When we look here, this is probably the best way to see it. This increase here of $618,000 over these 2 years is basically the impact of going to the 20 mil floor between 24 and 25. You get it split over 2 years because tax years are split over half over fiscal years. So that's what this is illustrating here, this impact here.
Thank you.
No problem. Any other questions?
Pretty straightforward.
Anything? Thank you, Ryan. We appreciate all your help. Like I said, he works many, many hours with us, and he just amazes me every time he zooms through this program, which he does this as he's been doing it for a long time, and he's very valuable for us to get that different view of what's going on within our district. So thank you, Ryan.
Thank you. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to let Patty know and she can get in contact with me. But thank you and have a good night.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Okay, committee reports. Finance Committee report, Mr. Ryan.
Okay. The Finance Committee met on Tuesday, May 10th. Kathy Krupko and I, along with Patty Main, Dr. Mike Scheffler, and Dan Swisher, we'll just highlight some of the things that were discussed that I think will be important for the board to know or just to highlight. One of the things that we keep talking about is the Nexus appeal, and currently we're collecting revenue at 39%. Now, we collected in excess in the first half of the year for whatever reason, and Ryan noted that in the report that he gave. So we have 1.1 million that was collected in the first half of this year, so we'll get a smaller amount in the fall. Now there's a chance there's an appeal going on, and Patty, correct me if I'm wrong. We might hear a result of this maybe by late summer, possibly before that. If there's any change in that, that would affect could affect our payment in the fall. We could get extra money if it goes favorably for the district. If 100%, which is highly unlikely, if there's a 100% collection rate, that would bring in about $2 million. But the likelihood of that is very, very low. But $2 million would be significant. If you look at our budget forecast and the forecast, the operating deficit for next year, which starts in July 1st, is 2.2 million. So if we were fortunate enough to even get that, that would make a big impact. But chances are that's not going to happen. Even if we got half of that, still a big impact. Doesn't patch the hole that we have for the operating
We
deficit.
transferred the money back into the general fund, though.
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Huh?
I'm getting to that.
Oh, okay.
The other thing that impacted the forecast is the ESSER funds, as Ryan noted, and in 2025, we're back to paying some of those bills for teaching, technology, and that sort of thing. So that's going to be a burden that we're going to share. And you can see in fiscal year 2025, we have a $5 million operating deficit, and that starts 2 years from now. So fiscal year 2025 starts July 1st, 2024. Currently, that has affected our current forecast. As we're wrapping up at the end of June, we were headed for a $480,000 operating deficit. We're currently sitting at 55. So the ESSER funds helped us out tremendously in that regard. Come June, Dr. Schruffler, Patty, and Dan Swisher are going to come up with $500,000 in cuts. We talked about that at the last couple meetings, and that's going to make an impact. Obviously, it's not going to be a cure-all, but it's a start. And I think as we move forward through the rest of the year, we get to the renewal. I'm sure there'll be other discussions on where we can trim. A few more things, and I'll be done here. The PI fund. Currently, we have roughly $1 million in our PI fund, and that's used for capital improvements, repairs. We also have what Patty dubs the Nexus 070 fund, and we currently have $515,000 in that. And to Josh's point, the Nexus money, that's the account the Nexus money goes into out of operating, and we're using that to pay a loan that we have with the 3 elementary buildings. So we have $515 in there currently. We have 2 payments a year of $357,000 that we have to pay to Consumers Bank. So that's what that Nexus 070 is for. And as far as the resolution goes, about 2019, the board passed a resolution to shift Nexus operating money into this capital fund. And Kathy and I and the rest of the administration talked about at some point down the road, we talked about this before, is rescinding that resolution. I don't think it's something we have to do now, but I think as we move into the fall, as we get into the next fiscal year, I think it's something we need to seriously entertain, because that is operating money that is can be used to offset our projected operating deficit. And then as capital money is needed, we're just going to have to make that transfer. So if there's a big expense like a high school roof or a wastewater treatment plant, Patty's going to have to come to us and say, okay, we got this bill now, and we're going to have to take the operating money out at that point. But as far as what our budget forecast looks like, it's going to make us look better on paper, because that money is not going out if we rescind the resolution. Just 2 more things on a side note. I was talking to Steve Miller the other day about the turf project that started 6 years ago. It's hard to believe it's been 6 years. I believe it was a $600,000+ project, and the Booster Club was heavily involved in that. The school did front the money for the boosters half, and the boosters have $117,000 left to pay on that. They're paying roughly about $25,000 a year, and they've been current ever since that started. So at the rate we're going, there's another 4 years for them to go on that, and that'll be completely paid off. Pizza Hut's also a big donor on that. We get $30,000. Is that a year, Patty, or is that through the
Over the rest of the time.
over the rest of the time? So we have between the two $147,000 coming in between the boosters and Pizza Hut that is going to pay the school back for the turf project. The turf is a 12-year lifespan, but when you say 12-year lifespan, that's actually a guarantee by Vasco, or Vaso, whatever that name is. Is it Vasco? Vasco. Okay, so Vasco has a 12-year guarantee on the turf, and they come out frequently to anytime Steve sees a problem out there, they're out there servicing it. So we'll get at least another six or more years out of it. In the meantime, we have a fund set aside. I don't know if many people know this. We have a fund set aside that's actually collecting revenue from rental. We rent the turf to various athletic groups. The Hall of Fame Soccer Club uses our field as an overflow, so we get rental from that. We also get rental from the Moulin Center for basketball or any other indoor sports, volleyball, and so forth. So there's an account established that's going towards the eventual replacement, because we're going to have to maintain it beyond the 12 years. So that account is currently at about $173,000. So we have money coming in, and I'm pointing this out because some people will ask, well, why did we go into that project when we don't need to be spending that kind of money? It was a community effort. The community pitched in half the funds, advertising, just straight donations. So it's a community effort. We're able to generate revenue from it, so I think it's a win for the community, and it looks good out there. You go out there, we got new concession stands. 10 or more years ago, we had the stands redone. Scott Robertson spearheaded that, so there's been a lot of work done to that, and it's been mostly community driven. In closing, I just want to say the fiscal year 2025 is where we need to keep our eye. Again, that starts in 2 years, and that's where we have $5 million operating deficit, and we have our cash reserves depleted at that point. So we need to keep our focus on that and work towards avoiding that, as Dr. Schreffler called it, a cliff. So I think we're moving in that right direction. I think we're being methodical about it and smart about the decisions down the road. Kathy, did you want to add anything?
Yes, Patty did notify us during the Finance Committee meeting that we should be expecting to receive a letter from the state because of our 5-year forecast, asking us to come up with a plan for how we are going to correct the trend that we're in of deficit spending and being in the hole. And I just want everybody to know that it's not just the Finance Committee that works on it. Everything we do affects curriculum, it affects the buildings, and all of the committees are going to work together along with the administration to come up with a plan before we get the letter, so that when the letter comes, we're ready to show them that we're actively looking to correct the situation. And it's not an easy answer. It's multifaceted, and that's where we are with it. So when people want to know exactly what the plan is, it's a work in progress right now.
Any questions or further comments?
One of the things we do have to do, finance goes hand in glove with the building committee. We've got to get on, I believe you told us, get on the schedule to have repairs started on the high school roof. It's not going to happen until next year because they're scheduling that far out. So we've got to include that in our spending plan.
That means another year of buckets collecting water over here.
Yep. How many years has it been collecting water?
I don't know. Probably too many.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Curriculum Committee, that's me. Josh and I met with Renee Cayley, our Curriculum Director, and Dr. Schreffler, and we discussed the Envision Math curriculum that was chosen. I found, just my comments, I found it to be very practicable, flexible, and it seemed like a very easy to use for both the teachers and the students. That's what I saw in my just, the little snapshot that we have. We saw the materials right there, and Renee is always very good with her presentation. So I think it's great. Josh.
Yep, and that was for K through 5. And if anybody wants to review that, I do believe we had that live stream, so they should be able to watch it on YouTube.
Mhm. Great.
All right.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Okay, new business. I believe we could do graduation seals and new policies in one vote. Fees and handbooks would be another, and then curriculum would be its own and refresh. So graduation seals, just quickly, we've been talking to the board some time ago. The state made a new mandate for us that graduating seniors need to follow some specific pathways in high school. And this class is the first class to officially have the graduation seals. 3 of those seals we were permitted to choose at a local level, and our teacher committees worked on those. And that's the service seal, the student engagement seal, and the fine and performing arts seal. So the board has to pass and approve those. And then policy, I know we've had a lot of policy lately, but these 2 policies are really the same thing. They have to do with the new federal holiday, Juneteenth. And just essentially, the legislature actually made a mistake when they put out their code, but Neola made the policy anyway, and then they came back and said, no, this is the policy. So this would be the first reading, and those are in the draft policies, or if you need a copy, just let me know. So I'm recommending both of those.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the graduation seals and the first reading of the board policy?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
Thank you. School fees, the only fee that changed is physical education. They can take bowling. It used to cost $9. Now it's $12, understandable. And since some of you are new to the board, we just put the whole fee schedule there so you can see those are the fees that we've had in place. So that's the fee schedule. And then the handbooks, thanks to our secondary principals, especially Mr. Evanich, Mr. Farrell, and Mr. Travis, went through, not only updated the handbook on personnel and those types of changes, but anything that was really outdated. So that's that handbook. We also have the athletic handbook, which Steve Miller and I work on together, and the high school staff. And then the DDA, that's our Digital Academy handbook. And I just want to let you know, the state keeps making changes to what we are and are not allowed to do with digital learning now. So I was just at the state meeting last week, and they said it's kind of like building the plane as we fly it. We're not expecting any changes like in the immediate future, but if there are, I'll bring those to you, and then we'll amend the handbook. So those are the I have fees and handbooks for you.
Okay.
I just had a
I'll do the motion. then you-
Motion.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
Motion.
Is there a motion to accept the
So
school
moved.
fees and the handbooks?
Second.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question. In the school calendar,
Yes.
it has I'll ask the question later.
Yeah, let me know anything. I know.
I'll ask later. I'm confused for
And
a
that's
second.
okay. And then Mr. Swift reminded me of something. If you look at what you have there, you can see any changes that we made. So we have the old handbook, and then on the side with I forget what the program's called, you can see anything that we've made a change. And then, yep, Mr. Swift, just let me know when.
Okay.
Student drop-off time for elementary, that's not going to change?
No.
Okay.
Will not change.
Okay, I must have.
It's only only the teacher reporting.
Oh,
time.
oh.
Just tweak that, and that's up to the administration. So.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was student or teacher.
Nope, teachers.
Perfect.
Okay, any other discussion?
At least I'm paying attention.
Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
And then just one more final thank you to our Mrs. Cayley and our teachers that served on math curriculum, the curriculum committee of the board. I'm recommending that we adopt the Envision K-5 math program as presented.
Okay, is there a motion to accept the K-5 math curriculum of Envision?
So moved.
Second. Or Jonathan can have it.
Any discussion?
It's getting warm in here.
Call the roll, please.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
And then 6, as you can imagine, just like your home technology, we have to upgrade those things. And if we don't keep on top of that, we get behind. So we have a student device refresh there for you. And thanks, Ben. Ben greatly contributes to putting that together.
Is there a motion to accept the recommendation to approve the student device refresh?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Passed 5-0. If I can just add that those are out of ESSER.
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah,
just now.
both
Thank
the
you.
refresh and the curriculum. Okay. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
That's
no,
right.
thank you. Good to know.
Good point.
Okay, next on the agenda, as you know, we had a food service manager that was an administrator. We did not replace her when she retired. So Mr. Swisher has been helping in part. Vicki Dixon has been helping in part. And every year, we're required to read this following statement to you. So I asked Mr. Swisher if he would read the statement to you. So we're in compliance.
Good evening, Board. Yes, I do work with Vicki Dixon for our food service department. We are obligated by law every year to basically just notify the public that Marlington Local School District has adopted and is enforcing the nutritional standards policy that's considered a requirement by Ohio Revised Code 3313.84, which basically just says that Marlington, we follow nutrition standards, and if we have to make any changes, we do that just to stay compliant. You know, and that's just a yearly requirement on that aspect. I do want to mention, since I do work with Vicki, and how wonderful and amazing our cooks are in our 5 buildings, and I'm not sure if you quite understand the amount of time they put in the lunches they serve. So just from a numbers point to where we're at right now, this year. So I'm going to go by building, and then I'll give you a total. So Lexington at breakfast, we've served 31,761 breakfasts. Lexington at lunch, we've served 27,239 lunches thus far this year. At Marlboro for breakfast, we've served 30,386 breakfasts and 24,855 lunches. At Washington for breakfast, we've served 37,486 breakfasts, and for lunch, we've done 27,654. At our middle school for breakfast, we're at about 57,258 lunches. And at lunch, or breakfast, sorry, and at lunch, we've done 45,879 lunches. In our high school, for breakfast, we're at like 35,637 lunches and about 50,904, breakfast and 50,904 lunches. You know, total breakfast for our district thus far this year, we've served about 192,528 breakfasts and roughly 176,531 lunches. Okay, so it's a lot of work that goes in, and we don't satellite in our food. Our cooks take time to cook this food for our students, and I do think they appreciate it, and they do an excellent job in what they do. And we do our best to be self-sufficient in everything we do, and that's, I just wanted to note that as we move forward. That's really all I have about our food service. I wanted to keep that short, but they just do an amazing job. I'm going to give you guys the flyers just so you know that we do summer meals, so I want the board to be aware of those locations for summer meals, and that'll be up on our website. And obviously, we share those with the individual elementaries. Those will be going out if they haven't already in their folders. And then the high school, middle school, we obviously typically, Dr. Mike's going to send like an email blast that will go out that will kind of let the middle school and high school, because they typically don't take papers home too often. So we'll go from there.
Can you address the anticipation that we will not be giving out free lunches this coming year?
Okay, so Dr. Mike and I did meet with somebody from Stark County, and you know, for the past 2 years due to COVID, we were in a situation where Marlington Local Schools has the ability to give all students free breakfast, free lunch. We were anticipating the fact that we were having to go into next year having to go back to charge our students for breakfast or lunch, and we were going to talk about that at the board thing tonight. We actually held off because our consultant that we work with at the county said we might want to hold tight, because right now in specific lines in the budget bill through Congress, I don't want to say that right, but I could be wrong, there may be a chance where when it comes down through the state that everybody may be free for lunch and breakfast again for next year. So we're just kind of in a holding pattern right now before we make a final decision if we want to, if we have to change our lunch prices to meet the needs of what's going on in the economy.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Swisher.
Sure.
Yeah, that one does not need a vote. One of my absolute favorite things to do is present to you the graduation or the senior list. So just let me clarify. So these are our seniors. They still have to meet their requirements to graduate. And you all know Marlington does an excellent job of that. And then we do have a couple of seniors, just so you know, if you fall in a certain category, you don't have to graduate, you can stay with us. So, but basically this is our list of seniors, and I'm going to ask the board to accept and vote on that list of seniors.
Okay, so is there a motion to approve the 2022 graduation with the student list as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Egan?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Kripko?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Pass 5-0.
Okay, treasurer's agenda.
Thank you. The first item on the agenda is the 5-year forecast. As you know, the forecast is an overview of the general fund. It includes the local and state funding. It's updated twice yearly, and it uses historical trends as well as available information at the time. Like I said, we update it from November to the May based on the additional information we have acquired over the year. There's basically the only changes, as Ryan had told you, we had some early collection. The Nexus pipeline in the past has paid up to their appealed value, half the first collection, half the second. They paid about 85% of it, the first half. So we, at this time, assume that we will have a lower collection in fall. There has been some, I'll have to say rumors, that they are in negotiations. Possibly we could hear something over the summer, possibly fall, possibly we don't hear anything. So I don't want to get too excited at this time. That's all I have to tell you about that. I do want to say that we did collect about 1.1 million. If you take the 1.1 million as well as the 500,000 that we have in the 070, about 1.6, you take out of that what we're going to pay in principal and interest next year, which is about $715,000 for our lease. That brings us down to below $1 million. With the additional collection in the fall, it'll bring us up to $1.1 million. And I know that we have looked at if the roof does need repaired, we could do that in 3 sections. I just wanted to put that in your mind that we would want that there so we could appropriate it for any larger contracts, if that does happen.
Okay.
Basically, like I said, we had an early collection on some taxes. We were also able to move about $200,000 in staffing to the ESSER fund. So that's where you saw the difference and a little less of the expenses. Also, $80,000, I think Ryan mentioned, in equipment. I was able to move that into PI, which will just extend I'm just trying to extend that cash out as long as I can. So that's basically what you saw with the changes. And then, of course, what comes in with Nexus is transferred back out. So that brought our expenses up a bit more because it's transferred back out. Any questions on the forecast?
Let's do this first. Is there a motion to approve the 5-year forecast as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
No,
Go ahead,
you're
Kathy.
good. No,
Kathy.
no, give it tomorrow.
Discussion?
I've got a couple questions. On that roof, and this kind of goes with the finance committee, you guys spoke about taking on that project and that it would have to be scheduled out. Like-
Well, correct. It's too late for this summer. And then Al and I talked, and he talked to the roofers. The sooner we would get that scheduled, the more chance we have to have it on
Like,
on
like
the
how,
dock.
how far out would it be from when we, contracted to when they could do it?
I would say, they probably wouldn't start till school was out. So by Thanksgiving, for sure, I think we would have to say we're going to do this.
Okay.
And maybe if you're looking at maybe by the next 5-year forecast, no later than that, if things continue the way they are with supply chain.
Okay. And for you, Patty, I've got a couple questions. On the personnel services, 3.010, why did we have an increase there of 153,000 from November?
From November,
Yes, from the November forecast. If you look at 3.010, and if you go back to the November forecast, there's an increase of 153,000.
I'm sorry, tell me the line again?
You mean a
3.010. Is there a
decrease?
On this one, there's a decrease?
Yeah, it's
Let me see.
150,000 less.
Hold on a second. Let me see here if I'm looking at this right.
I got the two here if you want to see.
I got it right here. Thank you. So
I
2022.
should have brought the previous one, I'm sorry.
12,355.
Do you need it? I have one.
I'm sorry. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Oh, okay, it says a decrease. Okay.
Yeah, 12,355,000.
Oh, so we did have a decrease there, okay. I was reading it backwards. All right. Let me see here. Oh, and the cuts that were made, where can we, reflect those? And is that mostly under personnel services?
The cuts were made before November. It was made in the November forecast.
Okay, so
you
that was
won't
already in the
see-
November forecast?
Yes.
Okay.
So you won't see that in that change.
Got you. And on the proposed $500,000 cuts, those aren't included in the forecast as of yet, till we develop that, correct?
Those are not. I will move those into the November, so you'll see whatever is cut, we'll see that change in November.
Excellent. Just wanted to clarify a couple things. Thank you.
Okay, any more discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Passed 5-0. The next item on the agenda is the minutes from the April 19, 2022 meeting.
Okay, is there a motion to approve the minutes for April 19th, 2022?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
And Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Passed 5-0. The next item on the agenda are the packet of financial documents. You'll have 3 of those attached.
Is there a motion to approve the financial reports and overview of receipts and expenditures for the period ending April 30th, 2022?
So moved.
Second. Oh, go ahead. Mark's got that second.
Okay, discussion? Is there anything you wanted to point out?
Sometimes you ask questions about the 070 and the 003, which are the PI, and the capital expenditures. So I just wanted to call your attention to the third document, which is the FinSum, and that will give you the amounts for our 003, which include, part of that is that turf that we put in there. That accounts to about $1 million. And then down at 070 is our capital projects, which is our Nexus funds that we transfer over for capital projects from our operating. And you will see that it's about 515. Again, we collected about 1.1 million. We'll be transferring that upon board approval next month. Any questions for me?
If I may, Patty, one more question on the forecast. How has the line for the purchase services decreased so much for 2022 on? Previously it's been a lot more.
It's a really good question. That was our changeover to the fair funding
Okay.
formula. If you look up on 1.060 and you look at 2021, and then you look at 2022, you'll see that that has decreased quite a bit.
Okay.
That is our open enrolled in. We no longer get open enrolled in. If you go down to our purchase services, part of that was our open enrolled out. We no longer pay open enrolled out. And we weren't a winner on that one because we had twice as much coming in as going out.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, call the roll, please.
All right. Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Passed. 5-0. The next item on the agenda is board donations.
Is there a motion to approve the donations for April 2022 as follows? Novelli Chiropractic Clinic, Marlington High School, $400.
So moved.
Oh, hold on. Dane and Andrea Wise, Marlington High School, $10. Those were both program donations to SAD.
So moved.
Second.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. Is there any discussion other than our thanks for your generous donations? Call the roll, please.
Thank you. Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Passed 5-0. The last item on the treasurer's agenda is just some additional revisions to our revenue and expenditures. If you look over at the column dated 5/19/22 for revenue, you'll see that we're just aligning it to our new forecast. If you go down, our kids are definitely eating On the 006, we are adding 100,000 on revenue, 100,000 on expenditures, because they are definitely taking advantage of the free lunches and breakfasts this year, which is great. The rest are just simply aligning our grants. And it's the same for the expenditures.
Is there a motion to approve the revenue and budget revisions as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Pass 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Personnel.
Okay, personnel, so some of these we can group together, and some of them you have rather long lists, but some I can go over for you. So 1 and 2 are a resignation and retirement, so we will group those together. And we have Katie Unklesby, who is an MH teacher for us, and Emily Martell, who's a school psychologist. As I always say, we thank those folks for their service, and we will miss their smiling faces, and both of them are always smiling. And then we have a classified retirement, Dana Becerra, custodian at afternoon custodian at Lexington. So he's at work, that's why he was not here tonight. So those are a resignation and a retirement.
Is there a motion to approve the certified resignation and classified retirement?
So moved.
Second.
Is there discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
And then 3 through 10 all deal with certified staff, so I'll go through those for you. The extended days in our union contract, staff members have an allowance of some extended days, and obviously some of those are very necessary. The union president and I go over that list. Last year we cut some days, this year we cut some more days. So this is the extended day list. This is for the next school year. And then we have one certified reduction in force. As you know, we are combining oil and gas and agriculture into one program. So we are actually reducing one career tech program. And then along with that, certified reduction in force, Chelsea Sisson will be the teacher that was reduced in force through that move. We have one certified non-renewal, and this young lady stepped in. She was our extra kindergarten teacher out of ESSER funds, so she served us well, but that position was a one-year position. Certified non-renewal tutors, these folks are paid out of federal funds, so we non-renew those folks and then bring back as needed and as our federal funds are approved. This year, you know, you and the previous board so graciously let us have the permanent subs. They were fantastic. We don't know that we were going to need permanent subs or that many next year, so they were just for this year. Again, all did a great job, but we are non-renewing those. And then another great moment for a superintendent, we have 3 men, actually, that have earned continuing contract: Rob Motz, Sam Alfay, and Marcus Lambdom. Those 3 those are all 3 folks are at our high school, and they have met all of the requirements for continuing contract. So I am proud to present those to you. And then we have then your list of limited teaching contracts that we will renew.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve the extended days, the certified reduction in force, elimination of a position, certified reduction in force position of oil and gas, certified non-renewal, and the tutors, as well as the permanent substitutes, continuing contracts, and the limited teaching contracts?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
Then 11, 12, 13, and 14 are all classified employees. So we have one classified non-renewal there. We have then the classified reductions in force. And again, as funding allows, then we bring those folks back. Classified are a little bit different than certified under their contract. So we have some third 2-year contracts, and we have some first 2-year contracts. So they go on a step of a year contract, 2 year, 3 years. So those are our classified employments.
Okay, is there a motion for the classified non-renewal positions, the reductions in force, the third 2-year limited contract, and classified employment of the first 2-year limited contracts?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
And then finally, 15 through 20, those are all summer help, and I will go through briefly with those. As you know, we were able to really beef up our summer programs with ESSER funds. Much needed. We all know there's been some learning loss, and I even shared with you about our incoming kindergartners. The data across the whole state is showing learning loss. So I know it's a long list of people, but you got to remember people take vacations. We need subs. So these people are all time slip as needed. So that's how those work. And their classification is there for you. And you notice we feed the kids as well. That's all still free this summer, food. And we have bus drivers to get them here. So it's a great program. And then Mr. Marvin's program, our OWA CBI program, we have some students there that are going to, again, work for us this summer. Most of these worked for us last summer. We do a STEAM camp. We have our folks that will work with STEAM camp. Our 2 great lawn ladies, as I call them, June and Linda, that are summer grounds help for our main campus. Our migrant program, which is a big feather in our cap. So those are our migrant. Mrs. Mort has taken that over as director, and Dan Swisher as assistant. And then the last one, let's do the last one on its own. So I'm sorry. So 15 through 19 are summer help.
So is there a motion to accept the recommendation for summer help staff 2022? I'm summarizing at that. Is there a motion?
We're doing
All of them, and
15
16, I'm sorry,
through-
and
15 through
student
19.
summer employment, I'll read them. STEAM camp hires, summer grounds help, migrant hires for summer, and that's it. Okay.
So moved?
Second.
Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Ryan?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
And then number 20, you have a spreadsheet there of all the supplementals that we know at this time. So those are mostly coaches, but there are also other folks that, band and choir and drama and things that carry over through the whole year. So that's our supplemental list as we have it currently.
Is there a motion to approve the following school year supplemental positions as listed on the exhibit?
So moved.
Second?
Discussion?
I just have a question real quick. On the faculty manager position, wasn't that a half position before? Is that a full position now?
There were 2. Oh, go ahead.
No,
There
no,
were 2
go ahead.
people
Yeah, there were 2
that was
sharing.
sharing that.
Okay, so now we have 1 person, okay.
Sorry about that.
No, either one. It's fine.
Any other discussion? Anyone? Looking at that. Okay.
Mr. Ry-
Go ahead, I'm sorry. Go
Mr.
ahead.
Ryan?
Yes.
Mr. Hagan?
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries?
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko?
Yes.
Mr. Swift?
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
Okay. The next Board of Education meeting, I think Mr. Ryan said he's going to be out of town on our normal time, so we wanted to move it back to, or make it 1 week later, June 23rd. Does that work for everyone?
That's my vacation, but I'll come back.
Are you?
I'm just going to be in Pennsylvania. I'll just come back for the day and then go back out. You messed up my vacation. Thanks.
Way to go.
It's okay. It's
If
okay.
you're all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can do that. That's
It's
not a big
okay.
deal.
I'll be in, you'll be closer than me. You come back.
Okay, so that's fine for everybody then, right?
Yeah,
Okay,
that'll work.
good. And then we want to have
Give me a break.
a June work session regarding the, financial situation, what we're going to do. So I just put this out as a proposal. If Tuesday, June 7th at 4:30 right here works for everybody. Good for you? Good for you? Does June 7th at 4:30 work?
It does.
It does, okay.
How about our administrators?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Does it work for you guys?
Whatever you ask us, we'll be here.
Okay, so a work session will be held here in the DLZ, Tuesday, June 7th at 4:30. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Mr. Swift,
Yes.
Mr. Ryan,
Yes.
Mr. Hagan,
Yes.
Mrs. Humphries.
Yes.
Mrs. Krupko.
Yes.
Passed 5-0.
Thank you for coming. Good night.
8:36 now.
Wow. You do a great job.